Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. If you're brand new to the channel, thank you so much for joining me here on the SEN channel. We have The Big Thing, which is a show from Monday, Wednesday, Friday that we do. Pop culture show, interviews, had Katie Sackhoff on last week, CM Punk. It's a lot of fun. We just, lack of a better word, just bullshit about whatever we want. Talking some fun stuff. And talking Star Wars, we do that on Friday on our show called Sith Council. We're doing a full rewatch on all of the live action movies right now. We just finished Rogue One, and we're approaching the original trilogy. So join us for that. But that's not this. This is a review of Visions, as you see right there. This is a review of Visions, Star Wars Visions, anime series that is dropping. I think that we got a few people who are lucky enough to see them a little early, so hence the reason why this review is out now. I watched the whole season. I didn't know really what to expect from the season at all. I'm going to be completely upfront with everybody who's watching this right now. Not a big anime guy, just never have been. Wasn't really, I mean, I know people were losing their minds when the trailer came out, and I wanted to find out. I am one of those people. Is it canon? Does it fit into the story? Do I need to watch it to figure out what's going on? They're like, no, it's not. It's just a really cool thing that people are doing, and you know, to just try to blend this style of anime, which is very popular and people, you know, love, that I just never got into. So I was hesitant to watch it because I just didn't know if I would respond to it, right? So I saw the episodes, and I did a poll for some of the audience, and they said, "Yeah, man, check it out. See what you think, regardless." And I went into it open-minded, went to check it out, and I'm coming out saying I'm not like a converted anime fan, but I went in also going, well, let's look at the stories. I'm gonna try not. I'm not really gonna spoil anything. I'm gonna give you a little synopsis of certain stories and what things are about, but not like I'm not gonna spoil any like plot points because I want you guys to see it when it drops tomorrow. So what I will say is this: there are definitely some episodes that were more difficult for me to watch than others because there's like I know in regular canon, or not canon, but in comic books there was too. There's a bunny creature, and that one I couldn't get into. Right? There's a few of them I couldn't get into. However, there's some of them that are awesome, and the stories are fantastic. I mean, just fantastic. And what they do is they're short episodes. Some of them, they range it from anywhere from like 12 to 20 minutes. So even if you're not an anime fan, what I will tell you is to give it a shot, to check out like the overall stories, because what I think has been lacking in Star Wars, certainly in a lot of the in the newer trilogy that came out, and I love The Mandalorian. I love The Mandalorian, and minus the Luke stuff and the Grogu stuff. There's not a lot of Jedi. There's not a lot of Jedi stuff, right? And obviously at that point in time, there wouldn't be. But I was always hoping to see a little bit more with the mythology, especially. I love the mythology of like the Sith, and I love the mythology of just kyber crystals. It is, I mean, every other episode is just about kyber crystals or Sith versus Jedi, and they mix it up too, right? I actually thought that the refreshing part about this is that knowing that it's not canon, that they're just having fun with the idea of what they can do, of you don't have to say, where exactly does this take place in time? It doesn't matter. Like sometimes the Empire is around and they have the Empire, and sometimes they mention the Separatists. Sometimes they mention when the Jedi are extinct and there's no more lightsabers anywhere. And so each episode is different. Each episode is different in a different time period, but it was very creative. And I love the way that they kind of blend Japanese culture with a lot of these stories, because it fits so well for what George Lucas did. I mean, I've said this till I was blue in the face. My favorite comment that Jon Favreau ever made was, and he didn't specifically say this, but I think where other places have been wrong when they've tried to remake Star Wars or an homage to Star Wars with their films or whatever it might be, he said Mandalorian wasn't doing that. We're doing an homage to everything that George was inspired by to make Star Wars, and samurai films were clearly one of those. And you see it in Mandalorian season 2, one of the Filoni episodes with Ahsoka. So get rid of this thing. Let's go through. I want to go through some of the episodes here and and the reason I bring that first part up is the first episode is called not that one. The first one is called The Duel, and it's this one. There it is. Hold on, just give me a second. The Duel is the first one, and so you see like this mysterious character, and if you didn't know it was Star Wars right away, you would think it was kind of old school Japanese samurai film and it's clearly is clearly built that way. But then you start hearing the droids, and the sound and the music in this series, by the way, is fantastic. It's not a lot of the John Williams stuff. There's very rare, if any. I don't really remember it sticking out, but it feels like Star Wars. The music feels like it fits in Star Wars. It doesn't feel like it's some different sci-fi movie. It feels like it's Star Wars. This is like every one of these episodes is like a multiverse, right? And as I hear myself talk about this series, I realize there are some, like I mentioned, as I go through this episode's awesome. They start you off great. So this mysterious figure goes into this village, and what happens is there's an army coming in, the stormtroopers, and then they're led by this Sith Lord. Pretty sure it's voiced by Lucy Liu, and they transferred over. There's you can watch these with the Japanese cast, and then you can watch this with an English dub. I think you can. I mean, I watched it. They sent it to me in the English dub. So I'm not sure if you can, but I'm sure if you look for it. But they use. There's a lot of people inside of these episodes. Like Lucy Liu I believe plays the Sith Lord in this one. But this guy that we're looking at here got a bit of a secret. Not gonna tell you what it is, but it's a bit of a secret, and it goes on it. And there's some badass lightsaber fights in it, and it sets you off on a good path. It sets you off on a good path of like, okay, I'm down to watch the rest of this series. Okay, I can get into this. And then it switches up, and it goes, and this is what I was talking about beforehand. And this is clearly, I mean, you could just see even from the animation alone. This is right away. If you didn't know what this was, you'd be like, oh, that's an anime series, and I'm telling you right now, I can already hear Andres Cabrera losing his mind over this series. This is tailor-made for him and Emma Fyffe and people who love anime, right? And I'm pretty sure Winston Marshall is gonna lose his mind on this one. But these were the types of episodes. Now, as we jump into this one, this is Tatooine Rhapsody, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in this. Mark Thompson, if you didn't know who Mark Thompson was, Mark Thompson is he reads a lot of the audiobooks, and I think that the first time I heard like the Thrawn trilogy, the old school one, it was his voice where he was doing the reading of it in the audiobook, and his voices and the stuff that he does, incredible, right? So he's a couple of voices inside of this, and they got him. Tamura Morrison returns as Boba Fett in this episode, and it's about this band, and they keep trying to. This kid was a young Jedi or something on the run, and he's like befriended by like this. I think it looks like a hut. I don't know what it was, but Jabba gets involved in this thing, and Jabba wants this hut or whatever the hell this thing is that his buddy and one of the band members, and they're just trying to get their band. They're just trying to get songs done. They can't, because here comes Boba Fett saying, Jabba wants you, get your ass in here. And they bring him to Tatooine, and they got to do something, right? So this one, I was like, okay, this is fun, but not necessarily the stuff that I'm looking for, right? I think there's some people who the anime fans are going to love it. This was one for me that what I thought I wouldn't enjoy about the series. I'm like, okay, this just isn't for me. It's, again, great animation, good music, can see how the story is fun, but it just wasn't the one that I really loved. But then they switch it up on you, and then they get to this one, this twins, right? And it's obviously of kind of like immediately I thought like multiverse Luke and Leia from the way it's set up. And these two twins are born a certain way. Something happens, how they're born. And one of them, and don't let this image fool you, by the way. One of them is trying to go down a path that the other one doesn't want to follow, and then there's some crazy battles going on. There's tons of droids, tons of new characters. They never mention Vader or Leia or Luke or any of that stuff. It's like this is multiverse type of different separate stories with a lot of familiarity, if that makes sense. So obviously, as you see that picture, you see the two twins, and you go, "Oh, okay, two twins, Luke and Leia." Is it? It's not, but you'll see where they pull it from. But that one was fun, and Neil Patrick Harris and Alison Brie play the twins, and it works. I wound up having a lot of fun with that episode. It wasn't one of my favorite ones. I think as I'm watching, this is what I'm going to say. Like as I watched each one, and again, remember they're short, like 12, anywhere from 12 to 20 minutes, and I can't remember each one how long they were. But what I'll tell you is, after I go through this, I'll say so I've watched 3, and I'm like, okay, out of 3 of those, the Duel is definitely my favorite one, hands down. The Duel is my favorite. But then they switch it up, and they go to this next one here, and they. Oops, that's not what we're talking about here. There it is. So the next one after Twins is actually The Village Bride. And now The Village Bride, I was expecting, all right, now they're going to jump back into one of these singing on Tatooine joints, and I'm going to be out. I wasn't. This is a really good one. This one's really good. The story's awesome. It starts off where these two, the master and her apprentice, are just kind of in the woods, and he's talking to her, and she's got a little bit of an edge, and they realize they're in this village, kind of hiding out, and you see this dude on the left. He's part of the empire or whatever they're, and they have like a falcon, by the way, which is real. It's not the Millennium Falcon, but it certainly is. It's a Corellian ship for sure. But anyway. And they have to take this bride, and the bride's going to sacrifice herself for her village. She's like, I'm going to go, and you know, and it's worth it for me because my people are going to be saved if I just go and they take me. And there's people who are just like, no, you can't go, and there's like, you know, a bit of a renegade who's like, no, you can't, and the Jedi is trying not to get involved in it. And you piece it together, what goes down. So you got the bride. And you got this dude on the left he's ready. He's taking her out. But what happens? So that one was really good. That one was really good, and I thought it had a lot of emotion to it. So again, now I'm waiting. I'm going, okay, that one was great. And then they throw this jam at you. Now this is what I was talking about when this is the stuff built for me. Now this one, the Ninth Jedi, takes place. And it starts off with there's the Jedi have been extinct for years. They're gone. Lightsabers have been gone for years. And so there's this one dude who's putting it all back together, and he wants to get the Jedi back, and he kind of summons them. And he's like, I found a way. I got some lightsabers. And he summons these Jedi back. And he's got a lightsaber maker who makes the sabers for him. And they all the Jedi go to this temple, and they're waiting for the sabers. And this one I liked a lot because they threw some cool stuff at you, and they threw and this is the biggest one that I took out. The reason why I think I love this one of the best ones, because there is a mention of the acolyte of the Sith, and so immediately I go, okay, so the acolyte is going to be. It was rumored, obviously, and you thought it would be the Sith, but they mention acolyte of the Sith inside of this. And I'm like, okay, they're playing with this now, acolytes. But this one, man, was great. It's got a lot of emotion to it. It's got a lot of it's got a lot. The Ninth Jedi had a lot of history. It's got sabers. It's got Sith. It's got Jedi. It has great lightsaber battles, and the music is fantastic. So this one now, after all this, I might still, even after all this, might say that this one is my favorite. At the very end, I'll go through it. And then now we start to get into a few of them. That the next one is pretty much Pinocchio with droids. Toby 1, I don't remember. This goes back to the Tatooine Rhapsody one. It is legit Pinocchio. It's an older dude who's got all these droids that he's built, and this Toby 1 he wants to be, and Toby 1 is voiced by the Geppetto guy is Kyle Chandler. And it's this droid wants to be a Jedi. He wants to be a Jedi, and it's like can he be a Jedi? And and certain things happen inside the episode, and he gets to do some fun stuff. This one to me, I was like, all right, I'm looking forward to the next one. It's fun. This was the one that when my daughter was getting ready for bed, I was gonna be like, hey, you ever come check this one out? I think you'll enjoy it. So, but what it meant to me though, because I loved all these other ones that had just popped in there, and I say, where's the next one? What's the next one gonna be? Because now I'm excited because there was so much mythology with the Sith and the Jedi. Now, again, if you're not into anime and you don't like the animation style and all that stuff that's not none of that's gonna win you over and go, oh, now I love it. What I will tell you is focus in on the story, the mythology, and all that, because this is where it got me. And okay, so as I'm telling you, these are really good. The Ninth Jedi was the one that I liked a lot. I forgot how much I liked this one. And David Harbour's in this one. This one's called not this one, that's the Pinocchio guy. The Elder is the next one. And so David Harbour, not in this picture, but so this is a great dynamic between a apprentice and a master. Apprentice is the kid on the left, and they're flying through space in the outer rim, and the kid's just like, I thought we were going to see a little more action, man. Out of the rim, this is boring. Say patience. They go down on this planet, and they're there. But before they get to the planet, David Harbour's character says, I sense something like really rotten, like really evil. And then they get down there, and you see this kid, you see how kind he is, and you see he's kind of making faces at these kids, and you realize, don't stray, man. Stay focused, and you can be a pretty powerful Jedi. And then they run into this rotten bastard, and he is evil. And so there's some great, again, mythology that plays into it. Is he a Sith? Is he not a Sith? If so, what happened within? What was this guy like back in the day? Why is he there? This one to me was the one I thought it had everything that I really love about Star Wars, right? The Master, the Apprentice, the lightsaber battles, the Sith mythology, the Jedi mythology, what's right, what's wrong, who's the worthy adversary, all of that. So it was pretty great. And they're only like 2 episodes after. My least favorite one is this one, the Rabbit Lady. Understood. And when I say least favorite one, I think that it was just hard for me to get over the jumping rabbit with a lightsaber. This one felt not as Star Wars to me as the other ones, and clearly I might be wrong here to a lot of people, because they're like, well, he's got a lightsaber, and but the messaging and the idea of Star Wars, and that's all there in this one. And basically this little rabbit, she's off on her own. She's taken in by a very elite family, and then it fast forward a couple of years later, and her sister, her adopted sister, starts to become opposed to her father, who is against the Empire, and the sister wants to be part of the Empire. And sister winds up saying, look, these are my beliefs. And when you hear it, there's a lot there. Like it's politics, right? Like what's your side? Can it destroy families? Like what do you see? What's family? What's not family? What's love? What's not? I mean, all that stuff is great. I just couldn't get over the rabbit. I'm sorry. If it wasn't a rabbit, I probably could have seen it. But it's not like, oh, this is terrible. I just couldn't get over the rabbit, guys. Give me a break. But last is this one here. It's called the last episode of the show that I saw was Akakiri. This one's pretty great. This is one of my favorites, and it closes out strong, and I knew that it would. So this dude here, he's and I believe it's Henry Golding voices him. So he's a Jedi who's coming back to help Princess, who's been kicked out of her castle by a Sith who betrayed her father. I believe it's her aunt. I think so. Anyway, so he comes back to help, and there's like a flashback where it was a very Yoda moment. It's like, I don't know if you should go back. You gotta separate all this stuff because I envision pain, I've envisioned this, and I envision all this stuff, and it was a very Anakin moment. And he's like, I don't know. He's like, you gotta keep it, you gotta keep your emotions separate. So he goes back to battle this Sith, and it's a fantastic battle, and it ends on a very interesting note, is what I'll say. And this one I enjoyed this one very much. Well, you're not here. So, I dug the series. I dug it. I liked watching it. I was stuffing food, and I went in not like a grumpy old, I'm not gonna like this because I don't like anime. Just I know how popular anime is. I know how people love anime, and the stories are fantastic in these animations, and I really like when you start putting in Sith mythology and Jedi mythology. You're gonna get me. And you got me. You got me. There are only a couple episodes here. Like I said, the Duel, I loved. Tatooine Rhapsody, I could have done without. Twins, I really liked a lot. Village Bride, I liked a lot. The Ninth Jedi, I loved. Toby 1, could have done without it. The Elder, I loved. Lop and Ochō, could have done without it. And then the last one, Akakiri, great. So this is a great series. It's great. Watch it. It's not a canon series, but it is Star Wars. You feel like you're watching Star Wars. And because of everything, the blending of the culture, you can see, oh yeah, of course there's a samurai tone here. And the space battles are there, the different aliens, familiar characters. Well, Boba Fett, I should, as I said before, well, that's not true what I said before, where there's no mention of other characters, because Boba Fett's in there, Jabba the Hutt's in there. But that was it from what I remember. Anyway, I dug it. I dug the series. It was a long one. It was a long review, but I wanted to review the whole series. So, hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and comment. Let us know if you're brand new to the series. If you're brand new to the channel, once again, please subscribe. Let me know what you think. And yeah, tomorrow we have a show. Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the big thing. Friday is going to be our Sith Council show. We're doing New Hope rewatch. So please check it out. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today. And yeah, we'll see you on the flip side. Homie.